All right, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody had an extended weekend. If you had an extended weekend, you all don't celebrate Memorial Day over in Turkey, do you?
No.
Okay. So it was just a regular old Monday for you.
Hmm.
Okay. So what about you all sports? Do you all watch American sports or no?
No, no, just read some news about it, but not watch it. But certainly, I watch soccer.
Oh, okay. Soccer. So I don't care about really no sport except for basketball. Really, I care about no sport except for basketball. Um,
Okay.
so to hear that Colin Kaepernick may be coming back to football after 5 years, I am excited. I might start watching football. I might actually care about football.
Okay.
So I don't know what if you guys were aware over in Turkey that once he started taking his stance for Black Lives Matter and started kneeling and putting his fists up during the national anthem, eventually he was kicked off the team and was not allowed to practice. His contract ended, and for 5 years he didn't play football, and he was, I guess, the number one quarterback when they decided they didn't want him to play anymore. So it looks like now he is going to be playing for maybe the Raiders. I don't know. I don't know nothing about football, but I am excited. I might start watching football because it's very exciting to see when somebody takes a stand for something and they don't waver in what they stand for. He didn't deviate. He didn't care that he wasn't going to be playing football. He didn't care that he lost contracts. That he didn't care that he wasn't going to be making that football money. He just cared for what was important to him, the injustice to the people of color, whether brown, yellow, green, whatever. He was just concerned about the injustice to the people of color.
Yeah. I heard about him. I heard about him when this thing started, when Floyd died. He was one of the people that spoke out, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, his manager and people were against him, but so many people joined him. I never knew his contract was cancelled for that. But as a good quarterback, if he decides to come back, that's good. That's good. But I hate it when people always talk about people of color, black, white. All of us, blood flows in our body. You know.
My cousin is on. Hey, Coach, Coach Tony, this is welcome back,
It's good to be back finally, right?
girl.
What did I miss? What are you all talking about?
So I've been writing and I've been reading, so I'm unprepared, but I did want to talk about Kaepernick coming back to football.
You talking about what?
Colin Kaepernick coming back to football.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't even care nothing
Okay.
about football, but
I know.
the fact that he stood for what he stood for is so exciting for me.
That's right.
So we had started talking, and Charlie, why don't you introduce yourself to my favorite cousin, one of my favorites, Coach Tony. Tell her what you do, and tell everybody what you do.
My name is Charlie. I live here in Istanbul, Turkey, and I deal on men's and women wears, all kind of wears. You can send it to your doorstep, no matter where you are.
All right. Well, Coach Tony, since you gotta reintroduce yourself now because you've been gone for a minute.
I know, and I hate that, but y'all know what it was.
Right, right.
So I'm Coach Tony. I am a business consultant. I am helping small businesses grow on every level, teaching wealth and prosperity within our community. That's our goal. So that's basically it in a nutshell, in a fun way as well. I have not started back yet, but I will be doing my lives on Sundays again. I'm going to start the third Sunday of June and then moving forward every Sunday after that for an hour. It'll be 5 p.m.
Wait, an hour?
Oh, yeah, no, 30 minutes. You're right. Thank you. Yeah, 30 minutes. What was I thinking? I was getting I was getting beside myself.
Oh,
for sure.
You see, I was shocked.
Yeah, no.
Well,
that's about it in a nutshell.
You've been missing
guys. I'm glad to be back.
You have been missing these juicy conversations about relationships.
And you know I want to get in on those.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I come back on football talk. Ain't that something?
Well, no, we done. You know,
Don't get me started. Okay.
I just like when a person stands for what they stand for and don't back down no matter what people think.
You don't like the fact that he fine too? Don't forget that part.
Woo! Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is. But me and Charlie couldn't talk about that.
No, I know. And you had to have somebody come in and bring the mess. So I'm back.
So what we had talked about abortion, and everybody was so, I don't know, up in arms because I said I didn't want to be my man's mama. I still don't. I think that I still think that relationships we can build, but based on my age, you gotta already have some stuff built. I can't be building you at 50. There's some stuff you gotta really have together. So, oh, hey, Pinky. Pinky's on. She said, hey, y'all. So, what else have we talked about? We hadn't really talked about a lot of world events because world events are really kind of depressing when you think about all of these wars that are going on. Women can't feed if they're not women are not breastfeeding, they don't have no milk to give their kids.
And I was hearing about that, but I wasn't digging into it. What is the deal with that? That all of a sudden there's a shortage of formula or something? What's going on with that?
Right. So one of my friends, she dissected maybe a possible conspiracy, since they're trying to take away a woman's right to choose what she wants to have, whether she wants to have a baby or not. What she said is now they're going to let these men have Viagra. They're going to let them impregnate you. There is no formula, so you're going to have to stay at home and nurse your baby, and you're going to be at home barefoot and pregnant and back from where you started from before. I was like, man, isn't that? I mean, really? Charlie said, keep your legs closed. You won't have no kids.
I always wonder why women always want to talk about this abortion law instead of they always want to talk about it instead of talking the main thing. I keep saying that the main thing they should have talked about it. They should include some of those things that were not said about the law. Like, what if someone gets raped? raped? What if someone is underage? Things like that. Not when a full grown up woman, an adult, gets pregnant and she thinks about getting aborted.
So
Full,
it's not even about having an abortion or not having an abortion. It's more so about I have a right to choose what I'm going to do with my body. Like I decide that I want to have a cup of Pepsi or a cup of water. I should have that right to choose. And that's what is for me, that's what it's about because nobody should get the right to tell me what I can do.
exactly. But nobody, you should have known what you are getting into before you get pregnant. That's what
That makes it, but still the woman is the fall guy regardless. The woman is the fall guy because the guy he is not gonna wear protection. He is not gonna get a vasectomy. He is gonna take all of Viagra and Cialis that he wants to take, and that's just gonna be it. So I'm gonna always take a stance that I have a right. A woman has the right to choose what she is going to choose for her body because maybe she was taking birth control pills and the pregnancy still happened. And nobody should have a right to choose, especially when it's men in office making a decision for women. And it has nothing to do with me keeping my legs closed. It got everything to do with if I choose to open my legs and something happens, I want to be able to say, no, I don't want to do this.
No, you're gonna
I'm not saying that abortion is contraceptive because it's definitely not, because it's a surgical procedure. Who wants to have a surgery every time they get pregnant? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
But I will also take my stand. You already know my stand.
Keep your legs closed.
Yes, and
know your body. But the man gotta have some responsibility, period. What you got to say, Tony?
I hate to, I don't want to, double team this brother, but it definitely is an issue for me when someone who does not have what I have try to tell me what to do with what I have. And it is more so for me, it is more so just having a right to choose whatever I want to do. It should be my choice, even in the relationship with a man. If we end up getting pregnant, it should be I should have the final say so because I am the one who has to carry the baby and we're the nurturers as far as women. All of the work falls on us. I used to say that when I was pregnant intentionally. And I used to have an attitude with my ex-husband saying, it was all fun for you. Now I got to bear the responsibility of making this right. Meaning I got to eat right. I can't drink no more. I'm just saying. I'm not alcoholic, but come on. So that to me, you all men, I won't say you all, my brother, because you're not who I'm speaking directly to. But
can I ask you some questions?
Just have nothing. I'm sorry.
Can I ask the two of you questions?
Oh, welcome, Kim. Welcome.
Oh, okay.
You got all the cousins on. You got all the cousins on.
Hey, what is happening here, Rob?
So my question is,
I'm in the shop.
My question is, what are your reasons why all of a sudden I'm just assuming now you are in a relationship, things are going well with you and your guy, then what are your reasons why you want to do the abortion? Let's just be factual.
I don't want to have a baby, and I had birth control pills, and they didn't work. I took the Depo, and that didn't work. I didn't want no kids. I did not want any kids, and it happened. I don't want to grow no baby in my body for 9 months and change the shape. I like tight clothes. I like short clothes. I am selfish. When I go to bed, I don't want to wake up 4 and 5 times through the night to take care of a baby. Period. That
Okay.
sounds reasonable to me.
So I guess, Charlie Pappy, you would say then she should keep her legs closed.
I just asked the question, so I want her to convince me. From what she has just said now, it's all about her selfish.
I don't have to get the thing is, I don't have to convince you why I want to do something with my body. That's
So,
the point.
so that's my point. My point is, you don't want a baby. Now, it's just this. This is very difficult. It's just like convincing a monkey that honey is sweeter than banana. This is just it. So you don't want to have a baby, but you like enjoying what will bring the baby. So I'm saying, since you don't have a baby, why not stop that process that will get you to
So
doing
again,
abortion?
you missed the whole point. I said I took birth control pills. I did everything that I could do to prevent a baby. And maybe he put holes in the condom. And that's why I'm pregnant. I don't want no kid. I have a right to choose that I don't want no kid.
And the thing about it is, and I'm sorry to jump in last minute, but it's not just a woman's responsibility to decide, okay, yes, we're gonna have a baby, or it should be me that's gonna be the one that takes the birth control or take the, close my legs or whatever to stop having the baby. It's also the man's position to say, okay, if we don't want a baby, okay, we won't have sex together. Or we don't want a baby, then I'll help. I will also take those steps, so you won't be the only one having to go get a hysterectomy or take some hormones the rest of your life, or, whatever, take medication to stop you from having babies. I'll go and I'll have this vasectomy. Or, I'll take the birth control, if there's a birth control for men, I'll do those steps along with you so we won't have this baby together.
So the thing is, a vasectomy is
Correct.
reversible. A vasectomy is reversible. A tubal ligation is not reversible. Some of the hormones that women are taking are not reversible and can affect their bodies for as long as they live. So again, we are getting the short end of the stick. When men are out here, Viagra and Cialis, and I just think that abortion definitely is not.
Does all men take Viagra?
He don't have no right to choose.
Does all men take Viagra?
Huh?
Does all men take Viagra?
It's pretty popular here.
I don't tell you what. The thing is,
it's popular here in the States at this level, where more men are getting taking pharmaceutical drugs for their
penile dysfunction.
Correct. Thank you. ED. And some of them are taking it and don't have a dysfunction.
yeah, but okay.
So I mean, here in the States, men's health care is more important than women's health care. So it just doesn't make sense to me for you already to be investing in the man's longevity in his function and be more concerned about that than a woman's reproductive system and her health. Because when it comes down to it, if this law happens, and it could very well happen in some states, abortion is going to be being done illegally, putting women's health more in jeopardy than it already is.
I agree with what she said. That is the responsibility of the man and woman to decide if they'll have the baby. It's not all about the lady. So you don't tell me it's the lady. You don't choose for me what I do with my body. Since you are the person who chooses what you don't do with your body because you want to fit into those skirts and those clothes, you want to still have your shape and things. I still say, before it gets to getting pregnant, there are steps you need to take. But even if you take those steps, and yet the baby decides to come. Is the responsibility of
They not deciding to come. For me, they not deciding to come. You don't get no choice. I say no. And a perfect example, I was dating a guy that was 10 years older than me. All of his children were grown, and he wanted me to have a baby. I say, have a baby. I say, why would I do that? My kids are not grown, but I don't want a baby. Don't you like how I look in these tight dresses? Yeah, I do. I do. I say, I don't want to be getting up in the middle of the night. I'll get up. I say, well, I believe in nursing my kids. You can't do that, which means that I'm gonna have to be the one to get up. No, no. It's cool for you because you don't have nobody in your body elbowing you, kicking you when in on your bladder.
he, I still want to say, yet, since you told him, we're taking this as an example now. You told your man, I don't want to have a baby.
That
And
didn't mean I closed my legs.
that,
I just said I wasn't having no babies.
that's what I'm saying. He's not going to force you.
So all men ain't reasonable.
Then you don't have any reason staying with a man who is not reasonable. That's what I'm saying. You have to, because
It's easy for a man to say that.
Charlie, you make things, and I hate to say this, but in your mind, in your world, it seems to me there's only black and white. There is no gray area. And I say that because it's like, well, because you don't want to have a baby, then it needs to be this way. Or if a man is unreasonable, then you don't need to be with them. But your emotions are involved with this person. And it's so easy to say, well, because you're unreasonable, I'm not going to be with you. That's unreasonable to think because, so much is involved. Well, when you're in this long-term relationship, so much goes into this relationship that is just, if this conversation comes up, is not easy to just turn it off and be like, bye. It's just, and especially if you're married, and your husband wants to have a baby and you don't, it shouldn't be his right. It shouldn't be for him to say, okay, well, I want this baby and you're going to have this baby. I don't care how you're going to look whenever, you won't be able to wear your tight clothes or whatever. I'm cool with that. But, we need to have this baby. It's not up to him. It's up to us as a couple. So it's unreasonable. It's not, it's a fairy tale to, just be black and white. You got to have some gray in a relationship.
Yeah.
yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, when I said you don't have a reason to stay with a man that is unreasonable, because maybe the man is not going to ready, he won't be ready to wake up in the middle of the night to also assist you in taking care of the baby or this and that. I know what I mean is, before it gets to the point that you are married to a man, you two must have agreed we're going to have one baby or won't have a baby or this or that. So when the conversation comes up, nobody's going to force it on you. You keep discussing about it, discuss around it, and see how it goes. I'm not saying that because you are the woman, like she said, because you are the woman, you have to choose whether you have the baby or not. It's the two-way thing. You agree with him. Are we going to have this baby? Are we not going to? If we're going to have this baby, this is what happens. This is what happens. But you ladies now are trying to tell me that because of this law, that this law should have been, because I'm a woman, yes, the abortion law should be there. Because I choose, even when I don't want the baby. Let me tell you, some women want to have the baby because they have a little problem with a man. They will just go and terminate the baby. That's just it. And some women, because they think they are not, the clothes or the dresses they were putting on are not sizing them because of the baby growing up. They'll just go and terminate the baby. So now, like
Well,
what you
nobody.
said,
I don't know. I know women who have had abortions, and they ain't having abortions because of a dress. They having abortions because they can't afford to take care of feed another mouth. Period. They just can't afford to feed another mouth. They can't afford the time to add another person to the family. But then there are women out here who are having babies to trap men. So
Now, I don't agree with using abortion as a form of birth control.
exactly.
Don't agree
Right.
with that. Like
Right.
if you get pregnant, okay, you go have an abortion. You continue to do that same behavior, go have an abortion, have an abortion, have an abortion. Now, I don't believe in having abortions as a form of birth control.
Right.
But I do believe that abortion should be there. In the case of what Tracy is saying, you know, I can't afford to take care of this other child. I can't afford it, you know, with the price of everything going up.
There's no milk.
We right, we're in a shortage. People can't afford to buy, you know, can't find the formula. But with this being said, I should that law should it shouldn't actually have to be a law to say this is what's going to happen with my body. It's
Right.
Period, point blank. You shouldn't have a right to say anything about whatever I do with my body because I have no right to say what you do over yours. If you want to go out and screw Tom, Dick, and Harry, that's on you. But I have no right to tell you that you cannot go and do that. And this is why this law has come into place, because women have had encounters that have, you know, that have not been pleasant, or, you know, have been pleasant, or and they can't afford to take care of this child. And this is an alternative means for, you know, taking care of, well, not really taking care of, but you not bringing a child into this world that you can't take care of, has to go into the system. I mean, adoption. I mean, it's a snowball effect of everything, because this child goes into the system because you can't take care of it. The child sits in an adoption, you know, these foster homes, aging out of the foster system when they turn 18 because they don't have a parent that's gonna, you know, raise them or whatever. So it's a big snowball effect of why this law is in place.
It's even ridiculous when you consider that there are so many kids not only in foster care but are waiting to be adopted, and there are some people who don't want gay and lesbian couples to adopt kids because they're gay and lesbian. Hush. King didn't like that, I guess.
I guess not.
yeah. So I think
So
that
you're right, it
that
does have a snowball effect.
that and there should be better reasons why one should think about abortion aside what you just said, like health reasons, maybe if she was raped. Not only, that's what I'm saying. If it's for only economical reasons, things to train up a child,
But I mean, we have a right to choose. We
I,
have
I, I,
a
I
right to
still,
choose. Just like a man has a right to choose whether he wanted to get his broke ding ding repaired by using some pills, we should, we should have a right to decide we don't want to grow a baby in our body. He chooses to go to the doctor to get that issue fixed. Some
you,
some insurances won't even pay for birth control.
Hobby Lobby is a prime example of not accepting women's rights as far as healthcare, women's healthcare.
Right. Hush.
even if you try to convince me
We ain't trying to convince
that,
you.
hold on, even if you try to convince me that this is trying to deny the woman the right over her body, I still want to believe, and I still want to convince you that This is all about you, the woman, and your man taking responsibility of things you are doing. Like there's an African adage that says um pregnancy is a result of the secret things you've been doing coming out in the open. Things you've done in the secret coming out in the open, and it shoots out from your tummy. So I still believe that the two of you, before it gets to that, you must have known if you can take care of a baby or not. If you cannot take care of a baby, my old man, there are steps you have to take. Don't tell me
So
you're taking
there
pills
is
and
nothing
at the
that,
end.
as much as I would like to say, in a perfect world, everything that you say will be right. But this is an imperfect world. And there is, and because this is an imperfect world, none of this, there is no way that I'm gonna change my mind against this. If my daughter is protecting herself, doing what she is supposed to do as far as protecting herself from pregnancy, and her boyfriend gets her pregnant, you mean to tell me she got to keep a baby that she been trying to prevent herself from getting? That's unreasonable.
And
Unreasonable.
not even a daughter that has a boyfriend, a woman that's married to a man. It's
Right.
the same thing.
Right.
I mean, that's a covenant, between a man and a wife to be married, and to have that relation or whatever. But if I don't want to have a baby and my husband do, okay, then even if we've had this discussion, it, maybe we decided to have two kids and that was it, and I get pregnant with the third child, and we know we cannot afford to have this third child or whatever, I shouldn't have to carry this baby if we already decided from the giddy up that we were just going to be done with two and that was going to be it.
Yeah. That's a reasonable argument, Charlie. What you got for that?
If
If we were in agreement,
yes, if you are in agreement, you should also work towards that. That's what I'm saying. Pregnancy does not come it doesn't just happen.
it
It
does. It
doesn't
can just happen. Charlie, how many children you got?
sorry?
How many children you got?
2.
Okay, so pregnancy can just happen. It can
No,
just happen. It
it
can
can't just happen.
happen.
It,
It can.
It can.
I'm a prime example. My husband and I, we were not going to have any more children. I was
okay.
told I couldn't have any more children. 2015, I got pregnant a month after I moved to where he was in Saudi Arabia and had a baby in 2016. We were done because he already has 3 other children with, women before. We had this one together. And here comes the baby in 2016. We were done. It just
Yes.
happened. So
It can just happen.
No. Understand why I said it can't just happen. Why I said it can't just happen is now, 2 of you has agreed you are not going to have a baby. It's left for you to work towards your cycle, number 1. Number 2, no, but that's the truth. So there are steps you need to take aside pills to work towards it, to make sure you have to be extra careful. You have to be extra careful about things now. That's just it.
Okay, I'm done because I just my point. I just can't. I mean,
So the thing is, I think it's easier for a man to say, well, you just do what you do, lady. It's all on you, lady. It's all on you. It's all on you. You keep your legs closed. You time your cycle. You are responsible for preventing us to get pregnant. And by the way, if you get pregnant with our child, then I can decide that I don't want to be with you. I can decide that I don't want to be responsible. It's still based on the woman growing a baby in her body for 9 months, being in labor for 24, 48, 36 hours, and having this baby that she has to feed, whether she is nursing it or hopefully she can have some formula to take care of a child that she is solely responsible for. Because the man gets to decide what he doesn't want to get a vasectomy. He does not want to wear a condom. He is going to take all the Cialis and Blue Diamonds all he wants to, and the woman is ultimately responsible for contraceptive and child care. Period.
I
And
agree.
nine times out of 10, it's the man who is wanting sex. A woman can just be chill. Something about I mean, it's just something about it. You could be coming into your cycle and be like, oh no, baby, we can't do this for 7 days because my cycle is about to come on. Now, come on, Charlie. Are you really gonna say, well, it's not here today, it's here tomorrow, we can do it today?
Why not?
Hey, I'm not
Why
gonna
not?
say no. I'm not gonna say no names because
This is
he may
you
see
be
this
reasonable.
later. He may not see this later. But I'm gonna say that there is this person that I know. He and his girlfriend had a baby, and he was excited about that baby. And then another baby came, and his facial expression looked different on the pictures I saw. And he said, well, I didn't really want no baby. I say, well, you know what it takes to get a baby, don't you? Well, yeah, I know. I say, so you did that to get the baby. You was just in the enjoyment of it, but took no thought of what could happen. You know what it takes. Well, yeah, I know. I say, and you know what it takes to not have a baby. So men don't think about that. Men think about that raw instinct of Period.
Well,
Who thought of porn? Who thought of porn? It was probably a man who created pornography. Probably a man. Probably a man.
Probably.
Who watches most of it? Probably men.
Yet.
Yeah, so it's the man's fault. It's his fault.
Always the man's fault.
It is a man's fault because he doesn't take responsibility for anything. And
No.
this is not a plug on you,
No.
but in general, men make women responsible, and this is why I say I ain't gonna be no man's mama. Me and him in a relationship as partners. I ain't in a relationship as his mama.
Tracy, understand what I'm saying.
But we got men just in general don't take responsibility. They prideful when they got a child, but they ain't prideful when it comes to helping that woman take care of that child. And this is a general statement. I know some good men that are fathers, but they ain't necessarily want to be fathers right away. It took them a minute to get it together.
Assuming you told the guy, this is when we make love, or you wear condom, and he refuses. At the end of the day, he refuses to take responsibility for the baby. He's not fit to call a man. Honestly, I hate it when a man.
You're absolutely right. However, there are so many shells of men walking around calling themselves men and not stepping up like they're supposed to. So we can't just blanket statement, well, all men are this or that, because you're not that type of person. I mean, from what I gather from our conversations here, that's not you, and you have an expectation of what a man should be.
Yes.
However, you have to think there are a lot of men that are not being raised by men to know what a man is supposed to look like.
That
Good.
part.
Now you're getting to the point that I said that pregnancy doesn't just happen. What I mean by that is before you
I
could
disagree on that
look,
one.
hold on, so that you understand what I mean. Before you could be able to start opening your legs for that man, you should have studied him and know if he's a man. What if something comes out to this? Would he be able to take responsibility? Or is he that kind of person that looks like a man that is not a man? That's what I mean by that it doesn't just happen. So for you to stay with somebody in a relationship and it gets to the point of making love and having fun, you should be able to know if he is a responsible man. If he's not a responsible man, my sister, what else are you doing with him? You don't have business being with him. He doesn't have business being around you.
And
That's
I
what I
get
mean.
it. So for those shells of men who in the beginning, and he's doing what he's supposed to do, but then all of a sudden, bam, I don't want you anymore. I'm going to move on to the next person, and I'm going to shun my responsibility. So you've already invested your time with this person that's a man, but is not really a man. So what do you do in that instance? I mean, because you could be with this person for years. I mean, there's women that have been with men for damn near 50 years, raise kids or whatever, and he decides, okay, well, honey, it ain't working for me. After 50 years, it's not working for me. I'm moving on. I'm not going to take care of you anymore.
Oh, that is exceptional. There is always an exception on
I
that.
mean, because
Well,
it happens.
yet because you wouldn't tell me that this two has lived for 50 years, even okay, let's just take for 15 years.
15.
Let's say 15 years. Something must have happened. It doesn't see that kind of a person is a man. I wouldn't say he's not responsible. He's responsible, except the one I'm talking about is you for a year or 2 years, you would you've not been able to study your man for 15 years. You must have known that there is something wrong somewhere before he will say, I don't want to take care again, or this or that. What I'm talking about is you started a relationship. Let me tell you, so many of our sisters out there, they don't study the man because they're in a hurry to get a man, they're in a hurry to enter into a relationship, they're in a hurry to get married or whatever. They just see somebody because it matches what they look like. He's tall, handsome, masculine. He's this is exactly what I'm looking for. Before you know it, she's all over. She doesn't even have time to understand if there is chemistry. She doesn't have time to study the person. What does this person want? What is his plan in the next 5 years with me? All that before you know it. And when she gets pregnant, the real person of that man start coming out. You know, say, oh, he's I want to choose. That's when the person will not start talking about terminating the baby. That's not what that's what I'm talking about. But like what you just said is an exception. Somebody have stayed in a marriage for 15 years. Man, he can't just walk away. He must, he is supposed to take responsibility of some certain things because if you leave it for that woman, that means you want to raise bad children in the future because she can't do it alone. Even if it's one child, it's not easy for a single parent to raise a child. So that's an exception. That's not what I'm talking about.
Well,
Tracy,
I
where is
think,
your mind?
think abortion should be up to a woman, not a man. And that's my stamp,
Yeah.
and I'm done with that conversation.
Right. Yeah. I
And
mean,
I still believe it's for the two of them to decide.
I don't. I just don't. I just don't.
Okay.
Yeah, he don't get unless he grow. So this is the thing. I think things would be different if men had to grow the babies in their body. I think it would be completely. There will be less children. There will be less pregnancies. There will be more concern about the health care of the man if the man had to carry the baby, and that's just that's just the way of the world. if it was more, if all of this was all laid upon the man, it would be a completely different world. There wouldn't be no single fathers. Because
Why do you
heaven
think so?
forbid, heaven forbid, he have a baby, get pregnant with a baby, and have to take care of this baby by himself. Heaven forbid she left him to take care of this child and then pay no child support. Heaven forbid.
And even when this does take place, when a woman, I mean, because it's rare, but it does happen that a woman decided, you know what, I don't want to do this. The baby is yours, sir. I mean, it does happen, but the woman is looked at upon so negatively. Like, why? How could you leave this child behind? This baby grew in your body for 9 months, and how could you do this? And how could you not help this man take care of this baby? Why aren't you paying child support? I mean, is the woman is shunned. It's almost like you kicked out the womanhood village for doing this. So it's negative connotations if we decide that we're not going to have the baby. Is negative if we decide to have the baby and put the baby up. If we decide to have the baby and leave the baby with the dad, is negatively shunned upon us. The whole spectrum of parenthood in the
because we ultimately are supposed to be responsible, even when we don't want to be responsible. Men get to choose their level of responsibility. We don't get to choose. And then to have some old white man in the White House, in the Supreme Court, in the Senate, in Congress to decide what I'm gonna do,
it's unfair.
Now I want to ask you. I want to ask you a question. I want to just ask one question. A man and a woman who raises a child better as a single parent?
Say that again.
And a woman or a man who raises a child better?
Yes, as a single parent.
Mean, it's instinctively in us to be nurturing.
So how many men are raising kids by themselves? It's not many when you compare it to women.
No. I asked who do you think that does it better?
And it depends. I don't have a woman-man side. It just depends on the person and how they feel about kids.
Right. It's a personality.
Because I've seen some bad moms.
There's some toxic behind moms.
I've seen some bad dads. So it just really depends on the person with the child.
I agree with you. You know why I asked this question is because somehow she was saying, if they decide to leave the baby, is the woman. If she wants to do this, is the woman. Why the bulk of the whole thing comes back to the woman, because we believe the woman is a better person to raise a child.
No, nobody says that, but most people assume that because she the mother, that she gonna be better. People assume that because you grow a baby in your body, that gives you the instinct to be a mother. It don't.
Yes, I agree with you. You're right on this.
It don't. Some mothers may as well be vultures eating their young. That's all I'm saying. Some mothers are just toxic and horrible. But they get the right to raise their kids, whereas men, they don't get the right. And the other part of that, they don't pursue the right to take care of their kids. Now that's a whole completely different topic. They don't even pursue it because the woman make it so hard for them to be a parent. Then who wants to be respected, disrespected, downgraded, talked about, for them to see something that they helped create?
Well, this thing is also is particularly done in America, because I believe in Africa where I come from, the man owns the baby, but in America, I think the woman owns the baby. So you as a man, even if you get divorced or you are not married or the baby comes out of relationship, and when you're married, for you to own the baby later in life, you must take full responsibility of that baby. You must you must take care of so many things, including the upbringing of the baby, because the man owns the baby in Africa where I come from. So if you don't take care of the baby, child support and everything, definitely you wouldn't have that baby. Your relations would also ask you about that baby. So you must do everything to see that that baby is raised. So
Yeah, African
maybe that's why I'm not really understanding you
is totally different.
yet.
The two cultures,
Hmm.
and I think that's why. Not to say anything, but I think that's why you see things in the black and white without any gray area. I'm not trying to be, you know, say anything negative, but because of your culture, things are black and white. From what I hear in our conversation, things are so black and white, for the most part. Whereas here in America, you're not going to get that. You're going to get some gray, you're going to get some light gray, you're going to get some, you're going to get different degrees of everything. So,
Mhm.
and I think that's why you don't see the abortion thing as the same in the same light as we see it here.
No, 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 no. See, let me tell you what I just said now is a summary. In America, those laws are written. You, if the woman pursues the child support, she gets the child support, everything. But whereas I'm saying in Africa, those laws are not written. Naturally, you do those things. That's what I'm just trying to say. In America, you are bound by law. If the woman goes for child support and everything, you start paying for them. If you do abortion, all those. But I said in Africa, those are things that you should know naturally that you will do as a full grown responsible man. This is what you need to do. They don't
Well,
need
we
to.
can agree with that because I dated somebody that wrote a check every week for his child's mother to take care of her. Wrote the same amount every week. Every week. So
Yeah.
it's men that do that naturally, but the fact that a man has a choice at the beginning that he not gonna do nothing, I gotta force you to child support court to take care of the child and you help me make. That's just it. They choose to not do that. So I mean it's natural, but it's not very natural for some people.
Yes. Well, that is it. Still brings us back with making sure you are with the right person, making sure
You
you.
don't never know whether you with the right person. You just don't know until you know.
No, 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 no,
But
no,
I
no,
mean, but
no, 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 no.
like people get divorced, didn't you? Well, you don't know, but a basketball player been married to his wife for 35 years, and now he decided he want a divorce. That's exactly what she's saying. She thought she had the right person, and 35 years later, here they are getting divorced.
What really happened? That must be something that happened. And
No,
and at
maybe
the,
not. We don't
at
know.
this
Maybe not. We don't know.
Tracy, divorce doesn't just come up one night, one day, one week. There must be a law that maybe he or she has been enduring for the past,
Maybe
and
he
I can.
just tired of her. Maybe he just tired of her.
How can
Maybe
you just
she's just tired of him. You could get tired of people.
how? That's what I'm saying. This
I
is
mean, you
it.
people change. I mean, after so many,
Right.
and you have to continuously get to know this person over and over.
Yes,
So, and if you see some little hot thing, even for me, if I see some little hot thing that's, that's more my speed, or I think is
more
know,
enticing at the moment.
more enticing at the moment or whatever, I could delete, just be like, I'm done. And that's probably the same thing that happened with this guy.
That's what what how do somebody will get married for 35 years, for 15 years, 20 years? You just said you are tired of maybe this. Before you take such decision, you must have been enduring. You must have been telling this, he or she, you need to stop this. You need to do this. There must be little. See, let me tell you, the spices of love is not being at peace always. It's all about having quarrels, settling it, having disagreements, settling it. That's what makes it stronger. That's what I believe. So there must be something that he or she has been doing
Or
for
it could be
years.
nothing. Or it could be nothing. Or it
What?
could be nothing.
Just nothing. I say I'm just tired.
Exactly. Or it could be nothing.
That's not normal.
It's not normal. No, it's not normal, but it happens.
I agree with you, but it's not normal.
I know a husband that said woke up and got in his car and drove and was gone for a couple of days and came back and was like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to report to you no more. I don't want to be holding no conversation about my coming and going. Let's get a divorce. So, I mean, you ain't got to have no reason. You just tired. You don't want to be with the person no more.
Just like
done. Peace out.
Well, everything is possible in this social media era. Everything is possible.
Well, these people are too old for social media. These people are too old for social media.
I say in this social media era, everything is possible.
Well,
everything
these
is possible.
people in their 60s and 70s, so it ain't about social media. They want to be free. Give us free, like Amistad say. They don't want to be married no more. And I know I'm making a joke of it, but sometimes you realize the person that you partnered with is, as you all are journeying together, maybe you chose the wrong partner.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe y'all not growing together. You all growing apart. For whatever reason, you don't like that. You don't like that. You woke up and he ain't got no teeth in his head. Like you ain't know that all the time. You just woke up and was like, dang, he only got no teeth. I'm ready to leave here. I'm just saying. People have dumb reasons. Things that we would think are dumb to break up. That person, people we don't never know. Stuff that I might think is little, you might think is big, and vice versa. And that's how things happen. Because we all change. We might be walking together at first, but then we may start walking differently. You may start having a limp and may have to take some high blood pressure pills or take some Blue Diamond pills. And I don't want to be dealing with that. I need you healthy. Don't know about it. I'm just saying it could be anything.
Anyway, this is a topic for another day. Causes of divorce and separation. It should be a topic for another day. We'll talk about it because 1 over 10 people just wake up for no reason. I don't want to get married again. This and that. And you not knowing.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about it because I know I got married friends that would call me all the time, so in love with their husband, and then next thing you know, I am so tired of him. Well, man, he was doing this stuff all along. Now you want to leave? He ain't just wake up like this. He been a clown the whole time. That's all I'm saying. And you tired of his clowning. You tired of his court gesturing, his buffoonery. You can't take it no more. I'm out of here. It happens. You thought that he was going to change. You thought that she was going to change, and they didn't. You married for potential. hoping that they would go be somebody else. That's just like me saying I don't want to date a smoker and date a smoker, hoping that he go stop smoking. Dumb.
Well, we are now already. Maybe next week we'll start on time to talk about this. I will be able to come up with a lot of things, you know.
Email me. So how can everybody find you guys on social media?
So
Charlie Papi and Papi Charlie, that's all.
Okay.
Charlie Papi on Facebook, Papi Charlie on Instagram.
Okay.
Mugs and Such on both Facebook and Instagram. And here's my latest creation.
Is it a pen?
Yes, it's a pen.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
You gonna have to get a good picture. I might want one of them.
Beautiful.
When you start making them mugs again, I need my mug replaced.
I got you.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So I'm One Authentic Woman on everything. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So, and I got a podcast on Sunday on Instagram, Queendom Conversations. So, we'll see you same bad time, same bad channel next week. I guess we gonna put this in the parking lot. Relationships, about people leaving and staying, coming and going. We talking about the representative. How you do in the interview part of the relationship, the first 3 to 6 months. When you always
what they like to call the honeymoon phase.
Right. All right, everybody. So good. Hey, Sister Gwen. Bye-bye. We'll see you next week.
Good morning.